Hey guys, how's it going? I'm really happy to be here today, and if you are here watching, thank you and welcome. It got really gray and windy, so you might hear my wind chimes freaking out. You might hear some windy wind. You might hear my neighbor pull up with his music and is talking again. The upgraded version of my new microphone is in. It's just at my boyfriend's house. So he got me one, and then for various reasons, he decided to get me a different one. So I got to use it that one time, and then we sent it back, and he got me a better one, even if you can believe that. He's such a honey. So I just wanted to update you on that because I had that one video that had like really bitchin' audio, I think. And then it went back to picking up every freaking rustling leaf there is. So Saturday should be awesome. Anyways, so hi, my name is Amanda Gold. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I am a creativity coach, and actually I've been on the fence about if I'm a creativity coach or a recovery coach. That was something else I really wanted to help with because I have a background in recovery and I'm sober, and that's super important to me. And then I got my bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies, and I was talking about social justice and creative recovery. That's actually the name of my major. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I'm a creative recovery coach. So I'm still figuring it out. So you might hear me calling myself different things. I'm kind of trying it on, and I'm kind of trying to see what you all respond to. And if this is a really exciting time because I really want to get your all's feedback. You all, my first couple hundred YouTube subscribers and the people who are supporting my Patreon account already, Kelly and Anthony, I love you guys. Thank you. The people that have called me out when I stopped doing the videos, those of you who leave comments and shoot me emails and have jumped on consultation calls with me, you're all like really part of this. Like, I'm doing this for you in a lot of ways, like, and for people like you. And I really want to invite you to participate in this me building my business as a coach, and what I want to start offering as far as programs and workshops and talks and series and all these kind of things. I have tons of ideas, and I would just love to get some feedback from you guys. Like for those of you who watch these videos, what kind of coach do you think I am? Like, how am I helping you? And you don't have to post it in the comments. If you want to shoot me a private email, you can. It's at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. I just really love to hear. I've got all this stuff bubbling inside of me and all this inspiration and all this motivation to help and give back. But I'm just still sort of feeling out like, what's the need, So I'm going to be asking that a lot. And anytime you want to share comments, what is working, what isn't working, what you want to know more about, what you want to hear more about certain topics, like really let me know. This stuff is so in its formative, messy beginner stages. And that has the potential to cause me a lot of stress, or my thoughts about that do. But it also, and what I'm trying to teach myself to think more often, what I'm choosing to think more often, is that this is awesome time. This is fresh and new. And if we allow ourselves to be beginners, it just is so rich with potential and possibility. And so many doors are open and things I haven't even thought of yet. So yeah, please don't hesitate to send me ideas, feedback, all that good stuff. Okay. Thank you in advance. And thank you for those of you who have already been so encouraging and so helpful in sharing comments and feedback. It really means a lot. If you want to know more about working with me one-on-one, use that same email address, amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. I do a complimentary 30-minute discovery call where we can talk. You can tell me what's going on with you. I can throw some coaching your way. We can see if we're a good fit, and it doesn't cost you a thing. So, excuse me, I have had like a thing in my throat, so bear with me if I'm working that out on this video. All right, Thursday thoughts. I have some thoughts for you today, and they're very interesting to me. I want to keep thinking these thoughts and developing them more. So I've been going through a lot with time and scheduling. So a little backstory is that, it's not even backstory, it's just fun fact about me is that I'm kind of a big nerd about organizing, planning. I love planners. I love going to Office Depot. I like color coding pens. I love Post-it notes. I love the accoutrement of a life that's super organized. I'm not very organized though. Like, this is something I've always struggled with. And I think this is part of my perfectionism, this idea that I'm a recovering perfectionist. There is a lot of great work and discussion around this, how we have this Kara Lowenthal calls it the perfectionist fantasy. So that those moments where we're making that perfect schedule and we're slotting everything in just so, and we're planning our lives. There's this kind of rush that we get from that because it's like it's all going to be perfect. But then, like, one thing falls out of place or one surprise thing pops up in the schedule and it all goes to hell and we chuck it out the window. And then we think, oh, well, this next planner will help me be organized. Or I have thought that before. So I've been very interested in like figuring out how to truly be organized for myself, what actually works for me. So I love hearing about other people's systems and these kind of rigid ways. And I know you can make a habit out of being organized. Like, it is kind of a thing you have to learn, right? Like, I don't believe anyone's just natural. Well, some people are natural born organizers. Boyfriend, I'm looking at you. Oh God, he's so good at it. He's very inspiring to me. I think he's kind of natural at it, but he said he was taught it too. So I definitely don't remember being taught it. My home life was pretty chaotic. I can't really recall anyone, I don't know, it was weird. I remember one time when I was in my addiction, I really struggled with mess and chaos and clutter and saving things. And I think a lot of that came from just like scarcity mindset and thinking like, and part of it's because I'm creative, so I'm like, I could make something with this. That was a big fucking thorn in my side. Like, I would collect things that I was gonna make something with someday, and then soon I just have this like what looks probably like trash to other people, you know, but I was like this scrappy gutter punk that was gonna re-sew these patches and fix this table and glue this thing to that thing and make art with it. And so I've worked through that. But I remember sitting in my filth one time, like years and years ago, like I said, in my addiction still. And my dad was so sweet, and he had come over to help me, and he was trying to teach me like ways I might be organized. And I was in my late 20s then, you know, I should have had it figured out, right? And he just so sweetly was like, did you have some kind of trauma around cleaning, or is there some reason why you have a hard time with cleaning? And I was really baffled, and I was crying. I was like, I don't know why I can't do it. Like, so that's kind of a tangent, but I'm just sharing that because like this stuff isn't natural to us, and I've always had this urge to figure it out, right? But there's also been this stuff that I've learned now that I'm in sobriety and honoring myself and taking care of myself. I'm learning like there isn't a right way to do anything. And part of my problem was maybe trying to be like this square peg, cramming myself into a round hole. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm very immature still. But I'm a hoot. All right. This idea of like, maybe it wasn't working for me because I had all the wrong motivations for it. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, why should I keep a clean house? Now I love to keep a clean house, even though I still am getting better at it. It's not like my top priority. But now I see the value in it, and I'm working to learn how to be a better housekeeper for my reasons, which is that I feel more creative. I feel more inspired to create when I come home to a clean house. It feels loving to me. I feel like I can rest, I can decompress, all these things, right? So the same with scheduling. I think I was really resistant to organizing and scheduling and calendars because first of all, I had this notion that like I'm a free spirit and I'm spontaneous and I don't like working for the man and I don't want to be part of his schedules either, you know? There's probably some of that like rebellion and misunderstanding about that. And then this idea of like it has to be Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and I've got to be really strict with it. And what happens if I'm late? And I've kind of had many years of experiencing like my time is someone else's, right? So it's been very interesting to me as I learn, as I'm building my own business and I'm choosing to be self-employed. Like now, scheduling and organizing my time matters so much, and I can see why it matters because there's this idea that I can create time for myself. If I get smart and savvy with this and I block things off, it like budgeting my time, I find I have much more time for the things I enjoy because I'm actually scheduling them. I'm prioritizing, I'm thinking about my values, I'm thinking about what I want my days to look like and putting that in the calendar and like honoring that and building trust in myself by honoring those things that I put in the calendar. So it's been good. I like it. I love learning how to be more efficient and how to use a calendar and schedule in ways that work for me. But I still am kind of struggling with it, and it still sort of feels a little rigid or strange, and I'm exploring that a lot, and I'm thinking about how I'm someone who does really well with structure and routine. That's been super good for my mental health, just super good for for how I am, like someone who has a lot of ideas and a lot of scattered energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and I can easily get pulled off and distracted. Having some kind of structure and flow to my day feels really good. However, what I was thinking about today was, is there such a thing for me? And I'm interested in exploring this, and I would love to hear from you if this is a thing for you. Is there such a thing maybe as intuitive planning or intuitive scheduling or an intuitive calendar? I haven't Googled this or anything. It struck me today as like a new thing. This might already exist. And if it does, I apologize for not being in the know. But that jumped out to me today because I had this whole plan of stuff I was going to do today, right? It felt amazing. And I went for a walk and I was thinking about how even though I'm making my own schedule, I'm self-employed, I'm building my business for me so that I can have more freedom and time and resources to do the things I really want to do. Even though I'm doing that, I'm still feeling this kind of pressure and this dread about some of the stuff I'm putting on my calendar. And I understand that that's just how it is. Like, to do anything, there's gonna naturally be stuff that isn't my favorite thing to do, right? I know how to create a healthy attitude about anything now. I can even have fun taking out the trash, or at least have a good mindset about that because I coach myself. But I'm cool with there being stuff on the calendar that I'm not super into. But I was feeling this feeling today of just like, ooh, I can see where it's so easy to get sucked into this well-meaning idea of like, I'm going to build this thing and I have all this energy and I'm going to build it and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to learn new things and I'm going to fail and I'm going to learn from that and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to risk rejection. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to cry. I'm going to feel shitty in the name of this amazing thing that I'm building, right? There's this idea of doing that, and that's cool, but there's a risk of falling into the grind and the hustle. And I felt like I was starting to get sucked into that, where I was like, I had this dictator thing happening in my mind that was like, you don't have time to go for a walk. You need to do this, this, and this, and it's on your calendar, and you better hurry because your lunch took longer than you thought, and yada, yada, yada. And I really want to be careful to watch that because life is about the journey, right? I'm sure you've heard that before. Like, and it's really tempting it can be easy to fall into that mindset of like, once I build my business and I'm making the kind of money I want to make, then I'll relax and then I'll have fun and then I'll be really free. So I went on a walk today and I was contemplating this idea of like, what do I really want? I love this question. Ask it for yourself. What do you really want for the future? And that helps me create my calendar and do the things that aren't my favorite to do because I'm building something that I really want in the future. And what do I really want today? And is there a way that I can give that to myself now? So it's tempting to be like, well, I really want a lot of money. I really want to make $10,000 a month. Like, that's super tempting, and that is something that I want someday. But, or now, whenever, who's got some, I'll have it. I'll take it off your hands. Sorry, cheesy. But what I really want is freedom. And I don't need to wait until this business is 6 figures to experience that kind of freedom. And so when I came home, I really got in touch with myself and I sat quietly for a minute and I was like, what would make you just feel... What I really wanted was the freedom to just be, do, and have whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I would love to just have an intuitive, flowing life where nothing feels like work, everything feels fun. Even the work that I'm doing is just me giving to the world and being nourished by it. And it's just a fucking explosion of magic and creativity. And this is my life. I can't believe it. I'm in a miracle world. I feel like that a lot today. But yeah, what I really want is to just flow, like enjoy my days. Like there's no rushing. There's no, I gotta be here. There's no should do's. It's just, this is the life I'm creating for myself and I'm living it and it's awesome and I'm of service and I love it, love it, love it. I'm living to my highest potential. I'm giving my gifts. I'm doing what I came here to fucking do. I'm kicking ass with both feet. So I don't feel like I can really live that way yet because the resources aren't quite there. I've got a lot of work to do to get this business up and running and like to find my people who need what I have to offer. And I'm joyfully doing that work. I love it. It's totally awesome. But I realized like I could give myself 15 minutes to just kick back barefoot on my velvety purple couch with the window open and let a breeze through and read my book that I haven't let myself read in a long time. And it sounds like so trivial and small, but it was juicy. And I did it. I let myself. I set a timer. I sat and read this beautiful book that I just got. I love it. I had sat down to read one that I hadn't read. And then I remembered I had this new book that I was excited about. So I just let myself. It sounds so silly, but if you think about it, maybe you can relate to this. Like, when you're caught up in the should do's and have to's and I want to and da-da-da, little moments just kind of pass by and you start to remember, like, God, I used to really love doing yoga and I haven't done it in 2 months. Or I love going on solo hikes and I haven't been on one in ages. Or even just, even just walking around my block. I haven't fucking been outside yet today. I have today, but this has happened to me before where it's like 3 p.m. Or me, I play guitar and it'll be dusty in the corner and I'll be like, oh, I haven't touched my sweet guitar in 2 months or so. When was the last time you just let yourself fully relax and read for pleasure? I really need a kick in the ass with this stuff. Not even a kick in the ass. That's not what kicking ass with both feet is for. It's not for kicking yourself. I need permission, I guess, and time carved out special to just relax and enjoy my life. And even for 15 minutes, feel like this is just something that I feel like doing. Intuitively, I want to do this. Now, to bring it back to this idea of intuitive planning. So I like this idea of having things on my agenda, but then I also like this idea of being guided and being led and going where the energy is going and letting source direct me. I believe in God. I call it God. It's not a religion. I don't believe it's like a male white God with a beard, but I believe in something bigger than me and we have a relationship and it's awesome. And I talk to God and I pray and like I feel guided and I feel direction and I feel like we're in this communication, right? And so I want to make sure I'm leaving space for that. Like maybe I have all these plans, but then I'm getting called or guided to do, sorry, the light's changing a lot. My face got all washed out. Anyways, then I'm getting guided to do something totally different. I can't tell you how many magical times there were where I kind of just threw the whole agenda out the window because I really needed to go to the park and be barefoot under a tree that day. And then all kinds of cool connections follow from that, or I run into someone who I hadn't seen in a while, or I just felt so rejuvenated that when I came home, I did like 6 hours worth of work in 2 hours, right? Or I made art, like something moved within me and I was able to make new art or solve a problem that had been bothering me. So I'm curious about this idea of intuitive planning. It's like, how do I do the responsible thing and like set my goals and keep taking action and all that stuff, which I do think is important. And for someone like me who really does feel good with some structure under and around her, while still allowing the breath of inspiration to move me and to blow through me. Here's another example. Again, today, looking at my calendar, I had all this stuff that I should do, wanted to, need to do. And all of a sudden, I had the inspiration and the motivation to totally reorganize my living room. And it had been driving me crazy for a long time. And so I was like, I shouldn't do this now. I should schedule it. I should do it when I have time. I have other things that I had planned on doing right now. But I just let myself go with it and didn't rag on myself about being irresponsible, which is a temptation, or like freaking out because now this other stuff isn't getting done. It takes this element of trust to be like, the inspiration is here and I need to fucking act on it. Have you ever had that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, I have been putting this thing off for so long. Now that I finally feel like doing it, I'm going to go with it. And it's powerful, and who knows what good is going to come of that. Like, this is part of what I mean by following intuition and inspiration and source and guidance from the universe and the energy and stuff. It's like, dude, if it makes you feel amazing, trust that. And for some reason, it felt amazing to totally rearrange and tackle the huge clutter in my art space and dust and vacuum and get in there and shift things around. And I think it was actually very important. And maybe it was the most important thing I did today, and I didn't plan on it, and it wasn't on the calendar. And I'm feeling excited because now this new space and this new energy and this stuff moving around, I really think that here I am giving my YouTube video, which was one of the things I was supposed to do, wanted to do today, and I feel extra jazzed to do it. I love you guys so much, and I love being here, but sometimes this feels like a chore. It's just my brain tricking me, like, oh, I gotta set up the thing. Like, it's so easy to do, but it's just like insecurities and what am I gonna say and blah, blah, blah. So there's always this, not always, there wasn't today, but there can be resistance to these, right? But today there wasn't. And so I'm interested in that. I'm interested in maybe am I more efficient, more productive, more impactful, more effective in the world if I'm letting myself have those moments of like, the inspiration is here and I gotta do this thing, you know? Especially for stuff like that, I think we need to make room for that, because typically cleaning and reorganizing and getting rid of clutter and stuff like that can feel so daunting and overwhelming. And I know I've walked by that mess for months now. So yeah, you got to fucking jump on that when it's there for you. Like when that energy is there, move. And so yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is there a way that I can be the intuitive? The other thought I'll leave you with is how intuitive eating really saved my ass. I'm someone who has struggled with disordered eating. I was struggling with binge eating, undiagnosed, but definitely I feel 100% confident that it would have been just dysfunctional ways of eating that weren't serving me and that felt out of control, and that, you know, I thought I had food addiction. I went to Overeaters Anonymous. I was super depressed about it. I was sick over it. I have also been on rigorous like diets, which I wasn't calling diets, but were like dabbling in orthorexia or this wellness thing, which is just another word for diet often. And like been on some really strict, restrictive eating things and losing weight rapidly and struggling with all that diet culture stuff. And anyways, what finally freed me from that, you know, along with all the work I do around coaching myself and therapy and stuff, was finding intuitive eating and health at every size and understanding about diet culture and moving out of that. And so it just makes a lot of sense to me that maybe some version of intuitive planning and intuitive scheduling could also work for me. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too random or tangential. I hope that it was helpful. I hope there was something that you can take away from this that's that supports you or makes you think in a different way. And like I said at the beginning, if you've got stuff that you want to share or that you want to hear more about or you're curious about or you want to suggest, like please, 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 I'm so open to it right now. I don't want to just like guess what you want and then like shove it at you and be like, you need this because I think it'd be cool. Like I really want to hear what you need, what you want, what would make your life better. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing this stuff and hope it helps. So again, feel free to message me at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. And guess what else? If you're liking these videos, I did finally start a Patreon account. So you can totally support me that way, which is amazing. Any amount helps. And if that's not in your budget right now or not where your energy is going, I still really appreciate you taking the time to watch and for being here and for just being a fellow human in this world. It's not easy, but it can be very awesome and beautiful. So thanks for being part of it, and I will see you Saturday. We'll celebrate with some kind of new video. Oh yeah, it's about rejection still. I am excited to tell you some thoughts on rejection. Here's a spoiler. It's not even real. What? I'll tell you more on Saturday. See you then. Thanks for watching. Adios.